Hello, welcome to Gatekeeping, where we take a deep dive into a pop culture phenomenon and decide if we let it through our gate.
That hello sounded so down.
Yeah, I realized as I said it, I was
hi guys, welcome to the podcast.
I mean, I was on my hour-and-a-half journey reading Wuthering Heights, so I'm in a mindset.
Snap out of it. Snap out of it. Gatekeeping announcement up top. Just wanted to remind everyone that my Melbourne Comedy Festival show opens tomorrow. Tomorrow. That's so beautiful.
I love ya.
Is that from Annie?
Yes. Okay, references.
It opens tomorrow, so make sure you buy a ticket and come.
Yeah.
It's, you can look me up.
It's really
you
funny.
Can look me up. It's called Sam McGowan Can't Sleep. I'm sure it's funny.
I went to the invited dress rehearsal yesterday and it was really good, you guys. I'm not just saying that because, I don't like them.
The dress rehearsal was wonderful.
And the dress that she wore. Oh. And, if you're there tomorrow, there will be a red carpet, opening night.
Yes.
Step and repeat. It's all happening.
It's going to be a huge night, the night of nights. Anyway, our guest this week also has a presumably wonderful show at the
I also
Comedy
went to
Festival.
that dress rehearsal.
Yes. And how did it compare?
I don't want to compare dress rehearsals, but
Will you compare dresses?
Yeah. Say yes to the dress rehearsal.
Yes.
Is what I've been doing.
Well,
Sorry.
well, her show also opens tomorrow, if you're listening. Right?
That is giving me a heart attack, you saying that. I know that this is only a few days before that, but it feels like you saying the Melbourne Comedy Festival opens tomorrow. It makes me want to leave. I want to leave this room, this planet.
It's all an illusion because we're pre-recording. So
A little peek behind the curtain. Everybody, till this point, you've all thought all podcasts were live.
Live. People try to call in.
Oh my God, it's humiliating.
But please welcome Jordan Barr.
Hi, thank you for having me.
And your show is called Dog Why.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yes. It should
Fan
be
of
cool.
dogs?
I am a fan of dogs.
Okay.
Both
Why?
the animals and the people.
Yes.
Hey. I love that.
I love them. I never had dogs growing up. We
Okay.
didn't have pets as a family. We had a rabbit, but it got actually eaten by a dog.
Same.
It's common.
Yeah, we left the rabbit out and then my mum found it.
Are you for real?
Asunder.
Yeah.
All
over
over
the place.
Oh
so she
my
told my
God.
brother it ran away. Sorry, Nick, if you're listening.
I was also
the rabbit
told
was not.
Well, I was told that our rabbit ran away as well, and it wasn't until years later that my mum casually brought up that it got eaten by the dog next door, and torn.
Yeah.
It wasn't a peaceful.
Yeah, it was
end.
one half there, one half. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
Jeez,
But
Nathan's fine, I'm torn.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And it was naked, as all animals are.
That is quite a confronting story to start the podcast. But we're talking about Shrek today.
We are.
We are.
And because you said you had, was it a Shrek summer? Is that how you described it?
Completely by accident. I can't, because I feel like Shrek became this, obviously it was such a huge movie at the time.
Of course.
But we all saw it become this kind of meme-ified, zaddy situation where everybody was doing the
Shrek is love.
Yeah. It became that. And I don't know if it's the contrarian in me or something like that, but I was I sort of stepped back a little bit because I was it's already happening all around me. I don't have to actually engage in Shrek culture.
It became too much. It became too much.
Yeah. Or it became people's personality was that they love Shrek. The same way that
It's a very straight thing.
yes,
Yeah.
In the same way that I genuinely love The Office, the US Office. I think it's so good.
Yeah.
But I
mean, it is.
choose to not engage.
Yeah, you can't say it. You can't say that.
Culturally.
Yeah.
I can't because of what it's become in a way, which is so fucking actually, as I say this out loud, I'm who do I think I am? What do I think? No,
it's true. It's true. The Office is great, but I'm never telling us all that.
No. You know what else is great? Friends. I love Friends.
Ross.
Yep.
All right.
Ross. I also think you know what? The homophobia in it is maybe a little bit not okay. But
it was a different time.
It was a different time, and it's not as bad as it could have been.
Exactly.
Way worse.
They could have made it so much worse.
I feel like Rachel would definitely hate gays.
Yeah, that's
Ross,
true.
there is a gay person. My incredible Rachel impersonation. Thank
That
you,
was
guys.
really good.
Thank you.
Very studied.
Very
Yeah.
a sprinkle of
Never seen an
Phoebe in there.
Are you serious?
I don't think I've ever seen a full episode of Friends.
That's so funny.
Bombshell.
Good
I
for
don't know
you.
what it would be like coming in now.
And I don't think I want to do that.
What I will say is that Joey, I think maybe people don't, but Joey was like unbelievably hot. Like,
Yeah.
especially in like the first like 2-3, he's remained hot. Everybody's attractive in their own way.
Even older people.
Even our
That
elders.
gray.
Yes. They're still hot.
But there is something like so, like he's literally a model and his hair, he's just like
Yeah.
peak 90s hot.
Gorgeous.
And I was too young to like appreciate it at the time, but I kind of accidentally dipped in. This is now becoming a Friends discussion, sorry. But like most people in like lockdowns, we just like put something on.
Yeah.
And I like put Friends on as just like background noise and kind of as a joke being like, oh, I'm going to watch Friends from the start. And then I literally, me and my housemates and my partner, we watched Friends from the beginning to the end and then became like, and then we would get like drunk. But do you know what? It actually was iconic because, and us like defending that Friends is good. And it's like, yeah, well, it's the most popular show that's like ever
Ever. All
existed.
time.
Of course it has good quality.
Yep.
Like it's okay to like that. You can also like Twin Peaks. Like you can also like your weird niche shit or
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
which also isn't that niche. But for some reason we were like,
I feel
anyway.
like everyone came out of lockdown and were like, oh, we binge watched Friends, but you're like, I did that but in a different way.
I did it in a different
yeah,
way.
completely different to the way you're
And
doing
I
it.
think,
yeah.
I think Ross
And I
is
think
the
you're
best
better.
character. Yes, I am.
Exactly.
I am.
Ross is the best. And
Yeah.
who's the worst? You can't say Chandler because he died.
That's such a shame because he is the worst one. But I think as an adult, as a child, I loved Chandler.
Yeah.
Because they're like sarcastic, funny men. Like I'm watching Buffy for the first time.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
Yeah.
God bless.
God
Best
bless.
of luck. I did my Buffy rewatch in lockdown and
It's so good. That first season is so janky and hilarious.
Oh, yeah. But
it's the best.
Great. How far along are you?
We just finished season 3, so up to season 4. I'm loving
It's getting
it.
good. It's
Okay.
getting good.
It's getting good, but like that Xander guy in it, I'm like,
Ugh,
I've
hate.
literally no time for him. I think it's just maturing because
Yeah.
when you're younger, you like find those like sarcastic kind of sardonic guys and girls like so appealing because you're like, yeah, like fuck the system or
Yeah.
something like that, and then you watch it and you're like, oh, you're actually a misogynist.
Yeah. Yeah. That'll do it.
Yeah.
Wait, so how did you have a Shrek summer?
Oh my gosh. Oh my
The
gosh.
question.
So I was thinking a lot about the fairy godmother from Shrek 2, and just like about Jennifer Saunders in general, and just like how that role. I don't know. There's just like her being British, her being like the ab fab chick. I'm like the casting was just so genius.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they like made it so like camp. And I feel like Shrek is, even though like most of the creative team and stuff are these like straight men, there's something so like gay about it in a way. Like
For
it's,
sure.
Like and all the side characters and things like that. It kind of reminds me of Gilmore Girls in a way where there's like you have your like normal or semi-normal leads in this world of like crazy kooky people and stuff like that. And I listen, actually, controversially, I listened to a podcast. I don't know if you guys ever do that.
Tell me more.
Yeah, it was really good.
I'm intrigued.
And it was just about like all the behind shit that went down with making Shrek and how much of a fight it was. And it was kind of like because the Prince of Egypt was coming out and that was like DreamWorks is like big, like this is our moneymaker. We're doing all this. We have some scraps. Let's get, and people who were too weird or not quite right or weren't working well in the Prince of Egypt team were sort of all pushed to the side to
God.
create Shrek. Also, one of those people was J.J. Abrams.
Gracie
Abrams. Never dad. And a few other people. And it was like this, it was kind of started because they were adapting. It was originally a book, and they were adapting that story.
What?
Yeah. You don't know Shrek by William Steig? Hello?
Is this like a
You didn't
novel?
do any research? It's a picture book.
It's a picture book.
What?
And it's quite like disturbing.
Yeah.
Like
Oh.
Shrek is like real, like I think they really had to, like, I think when you're making a character that is like quote unquote ugly, you really have to like be, I feel like they really towed the line carefully where he's like, there's so much like kindness in his face and his gestures and things like that, but you can see how he could be scary.
Okay,
You know?
this is in the illustration.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Yep. It's a very beautiful description.
It's very beautiful.
Yeah.
There's a warmth.
Have you read it?
No.
So I'm the only one that came prepared today.
Yeah, you were.
You've read it?
Yeah, back in the day. Borrowed it from the Craigieburn Library, of course.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Wait, did you say I read a book?
I didn't know you could read.
You did what? You did what? Okay, I'm gonna check that out.
It's good. I actually should get into it now that I'm having this. Well, I guess Shrek Summer is over, but I guess I think that like
next year?
I felt like the wave of this like memification had like calmed down, and then I like was listening to this podcast about like all the like drama that was happening behind the scenes. Like Lord Farquaad is so the guy who executive produced Shrek was fired from Disney, and he was fired by this like executive who everybody hated, and Lord Farquaad is based on him.
Oh, is this?
Is it Katzenberg? No.
Katzenberger?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
It actually, fully. And like also, oh my God, this is so easy. I feel like I'm speaking another language to people sometimes.
Well, I know, because I know about Jeffrey Katzenberger.
Yeah.
Is it Berger or
I think
Berg?
it's just Berg.
I want it to be burger, but I think you're hungry.
Give me a burger.
You want a cat and a burger?
Well, did you see the picture of him in crutches at Timothy Chalamet's, I think it was like his SAG after party that was attended by
like
Tobey Maguire.
the poker table and everything.
Yeah, have you seen these pictures?
No.
Well, I think it was like SAG when Timmy won. They had like an after party, and controversially, Tobey Maguire was there at the poker table. And I don't know if you've seen the movie Molly's Game.
Yes.
Okay, well, do you know about the Tobey Maguire law there?
No, I don't.
Well, Michael Cera's character in Molly's Game is based off Tobey Maguire.
That is so funny.
Crazy, right?
Also, like the least shocking thing in the world that Tobey Maguire is like a poker bro.
Dirtbag.
You know what I mean? Like
Absolutely.
he seems like such a like
Dirtbag.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Isn't he like best mates with Leo DiCaprio as well?
Yes, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Great Gatsby.
Yes. Well, but in the background of these pictures, there's all these famous people, and then Jeffrey Katzenberg is there in crutches for some reason. Like he could not stay home. He was like, I'm going to this
Bitches
damn
cannot stay
party.
home.
Yeah.
Literally.
He's still recovering from getting eaten by a dragon.
Because Farquaad, I didn't realize when I was a kid, but it's, Farquaad. Yeah. Outrageous.
Do you know what? I'm kind of realizing that now. He's Lord Fuckwad.
Yeah.
And like the voice acting in it is so iconic. John
Literally.
Lithgow, and also of course, oh my God, I've blanked on his name. He's an icon. Chris Farley was supposed to
play Shrek.
Yeah.
But
Whoa.
he died
Oh,
really
I didn't know
suddenly.
that. Wow.
So he'd recorded about like a third of the movie or something, and then they hired Mike Myers, and Mike Myers then recorded most of the movie as well in his Canadian accent.
Yeah.
And
then
then
decided that he was like, nah.
it has to be
It
Scottish.
has to be Scottish.
And they really fought him on it, and he was like, I can't. I'm begging you to let me back in there and re-record all my lines.
Wow.
And they did. And thank God.
Thank God. Imagine Canadian Shrek.
Mike Myers is such a genius. Like
Yeah.
he's such a visionary. Like he's so committed to his vision.
Yeah,
that he would do
yeah.
that.
To the detriment of others around him, some might
True.
say.
Wow, come on.
But it's worth it.
It's worth it.
It's worth it.
And I think it was kind of nice. I think it would have been nice because he actually don't know if he had too much of a crossover with Chris Farley. I think he was just before his time at SNL. But it would have been like even having an accent remotely close to Chris would have been so strange for people. So it was like really, and I thought that this was the thinking behind it when I first heard about this, but I realize now that I don't think it had too much to do with it, but I think it would have been such a relief to hear something so completely different to what Chris Farley would have done. And then like, of course, like John Lithgow as Lord Farquaad, like some of you may die. And something else, like a fun little tidbit I found out was that the guy who does the voice of, I can't remember if it's Pinocchio or I know it's the Gingerbread Man.
Yeah.
He was just like an animator. Like he was just like a guy, and like they just had him as a stand-in until they cast someone, but they were like, no one can do it like you.
Yeah.
So
He was
ended up-
eating.
and he did it for all the movies, and he was just like a guy.
Wow.
That is so, and like the way they worked, everything into this. And like the main concern I think would have been like that it was too like adult, but it was like watching it as a kid, like because you guys might have been a bit too young. When did it come out for you guys?
2001.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was 3.
True.
Same.
Yeah. I was 6 at that time, and it was like you went to school. Oh no, I actually would have been 7. Oh my God, I cannot count. But like it came out over the school holidays.
Oh, it was one of those.
Like it would have been like a summer release in the States. I was like winter holidays here.
Yeah.
And then it might not have been straight away, but definitely like once people could get it on VHS, like it was just everybody spoke in Shrek quotes. Like, and I went to the I randomly went to the Moonlight Cinema. This is actually, I think, what kicked this off. I listened to this podcast, and then my friend was like, let's go to the Moonlight Cinema. And they had a screening of Shrek. And I was like, why don't we just go fucking see Shrek? And the whole time we were just like, is there any line in this movie that isn't iconic?
It's just jokes. It's so well written. And like even watching it again as an adult now for like the first time in like 10 years, I was like, this shit is so funny.
Yeah.
I was edge bowling the whole time. It's so good.
Even the way they're like, we're going this way now. Like every line, I'm like, I know this. And like also like the little song and dance when they get to Duloc in the perfect down. And that was also like taking the piss out of Disney.
Yeah.
Because it was, because weren't like a lot of the creators behind it, like they'd come from Disney after like Spielberg like had left and made DreamWorks his own thing, and it was like, they were like, let's do something crazy.
The renegades.
Exactly.
Yep, the renegade spirit of Shrek.
Exactly.
It was just so iconic. And like I love, and Donkey is such a beautiful, pure character as well.
I think this is like one of the all-time voice performances. I feel like it's underrated.
Yeah. Did you know
Eddie Murphy as Donkey?
Eddie Murphy is the only person in the history of the BAFTAs to be nominated for a voice performance.
Period.
He was so good that they were like best supporting actor nomination.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And he also improv'd a lot. Like he improv'd those parfait lines as well. Like,
wow.
He's so good.
Which Shrek was he
Shrek
nominated
1.
for? Shrek 1. Okay. Yeah.
And I mean, wow. And also, did you know, this is crazy. It's not crazy to me. Shrek 1 competed at Cannes Film Festival.
Yes.
And it
should have.
The year of Moulin Rouge, Mulholland Drive, The Piano Teacher, A Millennium Mambo, and
Shrek cleared all of them. To be honest,
oh my God, what a movie night! Actually, I should do 2001
What's that
Cannes
last
movie
one?
night.
Millennium Mambo.
What the hell is that?
It's a movie.
It's not Shrek.
It's
no Shrek.
And the jury president was Liv Ullmann, who did she was like. Whoa.
Oh my God, the spirit lives on.
She worked with what's his fucking name? Oh, Bergman, did Scenes from a Marriage. She's
Yes.
actress with a capital A.
Yeah.
And the jury was Charlotte Gainsbourg, Terry Gilman from Monty Python,
Okay.
and Edward Yang who did You. And it was
they would have been loving a bit of Shrek.
Literally.
I mean, imagine you're at Cannes, you're watching these very serious films, and then you get to watch Shrek. Hello, fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it was also riddled with pop culture references and stuff, and stuff that went over your head as a kid, but even just I think what was appealing watching it, especially at that age too, is that it didn't feel like it was pandering at all. And it was I don't know. There was Robin and his merry men too,
who was French randomly as well.
He was randomly French and really gay, and they were kind of being he seems gay.
There's a lot of gender play. The wolf in the grandma's clothes.
The wolf is a trans character, and they never make jokes about it. She just exists.
The ugly stepsister in the second movie.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Pinocchio is very gay.
Yes.
Yeah. And the gingerbread man.
The gingerbread man. It was so good. And I just love and Donkey as well. I found out recently that donkeys need friends, otherwise they die like of loneliness. Like they have to. So often you'll see like donkeys in paddocks with like horses and stuff like that. It doesn't have to be another donkey, but it has to be a companion.
So sweet.
And I was like,
that makes so much sense.
yes. And rewatching Shrek, I was like, because I watched it like 3 times in a week because I kept like, after I saw it at the Moonlight Cinemas, then someone would be round and then I would suddenly be like, I really think we just should put on Shrek and watch it because we were talking about it. And then it happened for a 3rd time. It took like 3 times before I went to Shrek 2, which is, of course,
even better.
incredible.
Yeah.
One of the few sequels that outsold the original.
I
I think it's like far better as well. And you
Yeah.
know, Shrek 1 is fantastic, but Shrek 2 is like just everything is on another level.
Yes. Yeah.
Truly.
Yeah.
They took it there. They were like,
They
let's go.
took it there. Yeah.
And it was also like, I don't know, it was kind of interesting to like just circling back to Shrek 1 too, like the whole I just realized I forgot to say something.
I've got a few more things to say. Actually, sorry.
I just want to say on record that Fiona is so much hotter as an ogre
Yep.
than as a human woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it was insane when she like switched to being a woman and was like in her like wedding dress and stuff. I was like, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah.
And then when she was like an ogre, like she was so stunning. And
very pretty.
And part of me is like, well, this is very like late 90s, early 2000s, like fat phobia as well. They were literally like, imagine if she was
Hideous.
plus
Fat.
size. Like, they couldn't handle it.
And green.
And green. But she's just so hot. And then like it was interesting in the second movie when they like switched into their hotter versions of themselves, and it was so uncanny. Like
Human Shrek is hot as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
I like that they still made him like kind of like Javier Bardem hot. Like they didn't make him like Leo DiCaprio little
no,
twink hot. They
ugly
were like,
hot.
no, he's big. He's
yeah,
still a
he's a
big
big
guy.
boy. Yeah.
Yeah.
As a man.
We got a broad guy.
I think the opening of the first Shrek is like just so instantly iconic. Like when the
Yes.
mud splashes and it's like
Somebody
Mike
once-
Myers. Yeah. And it does the opening
Yeah, the
crawl.
credits.
Yeah. But I don't remember seeing like based on the book, you know.
No, I don't remember seeing that at all.
Yep.
I think it must have been like some post-credit scene or some shit.
Post
but it
credit
was
scene, yes.
so wild. And like him also like I got chills when he's like reading the story of the princess and then he rips out the page to use it as toilet paper. I was like, because I remember as a kid being like, here we fucking go. Okay.
All right, we're doing something different here.
But yeah, that's that whole like fuck you to Disney. It's
Yeah.
like this is not one of those shitty fairy tales,
Yeah.
guys.
Guys,
This is cool.
And like Fiona singing to the birds and them exploding.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it's a bit
So
like
funny.
macabre, maybe
Yeah,
a bit dark, and yes,
Ooh.
it is what it is.
And like
I don't know why we laugh so much. Shrek 1 is very macabre. You go.
it's
Like it is. I get it.
Yeah. And also just like this guy who's like, I mean, he kind of finds purpose along the way, but he's like truly doing it because he just wants his swamp back.
Yes, he wants to be
Like,
left alone.
He doesn't have a greater
Me.
purpose. Like he's not like actually like really a hero until sort of the end because he isn't caught up in like the bureaucracy of it all. He's
Yes.
like, there's right and wrong. There's swamp, no swamp.
Exactly.
And he is like quite like, even when he's like by himself and he's doing all his his, you know, self-care rituals of like
Mud
showering.
showers,
Yeah.
The
yeah.
earwax candle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he makes
Eyeball
his
martini.
little meals.
Yeah.
I'm like, this man has taste.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he's
And
a
he cooks
refined
for himself.
gentleman.
Exactly.
He looks after himself. We kind of need.
He's
someone
giving
like
like older gay man.
Yeah,
you know,
lives
just
alone.
like very manicured
Yeah.
area, like just want to be left alone.
The house
Yeah.
is clean.
Oh
The
yeah.
house is clean.
Like the
Yeah.
little tree house is clean.
I get anxiety that scene where all of the fairy tale people come in and like the wolf's in his bed and everyone the mice are there and like the idea of everyone being in my house, you know,
Oh, yeah.
obviously very stressful.
And it suddenly
How are you
takes
feeling
over.
right now?
yeah.
Yeah, we're all here.
Yeah.
And he hoofed and he poofed and he signed an eviction notice. It's iconic. And also another woman that I love that I think I'm going to go as her for Halloween.
Okay, forward tease. Here we
For
go.
days, if I don't go as Aileen Wuornos.
Who is that?
She's a serial killer. She was
Monster?
Monster.
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
Charlie's.
My partner and I found this photo of her and Christina Ricci in the movie, and we are dead ringers for it. Like literally, there's and we're like, we might have to do that.
That would be so good.
Also, would like to go as the woman who's trying to sell donkey.
Oh, that's a good one.
She's cute.
She's so desperate for the cash.
Been there.
Yeah.
Shit.
That's a good costume because it's like, I feel like we are in a space where we're far enough removed.
Yeah.
And with, of course, we'll talk about it, but Shrek 5 coming up. It's kind of, people are excited again, I think, for Shrek.
Have you seen the debacle about the change in animation?
Oh, yeah. I mean, what do you think?
Well, I think the Shrek family got a little rhinoplasty. I'll say that much.
Yes.
Yes, there's been some work done. Yeah, I don't mind it. They do definitely look a bit more cartoony, sort of that stereotypical cartoon,
Yeah.
the bigger eyes and stuff.
It kind of reminds me of like, it looks like that movie The Trolls or whatever. I never saw it.
Oh, with like
just-
yeah.
Oh.
I only...
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Just called Trolls. Just called Trolls.
No, there's another one. I think it's called like The Groots or The Groots.
Oh, the Croods.
The Croods.
With
The
Emma
Groots.
Stone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only know it in reference to when Scott Morrison
I was going to say,
used
he was a
it.
big fan. He was a big fan, yeah. Of the
when he was
Croods.
like talking about lockdown measures because he pussied out and just made all the states deal with it because he was like, I actually don't want to be divisive at all. And then was like, it's kind of like the Croods when they've been living in a cave. And then by the end of the movie, they decide to leave the cave.
Yeah. I mean, he kind of ate with that.
I mean,
Say what you will.
say what you will. But
He
if
was
you
a cinema fan. He was a cinephile.
A cinephile, that's what we call them now.
But Shrek 2, this one is like chock full of pop culture references.
yeah.
But even though they're of the time, I feel like they're still pretty timeless.
Yeah.
Like the OJ thing, the white Bronco.
Oh my god. The cops bit when he puts the catnip on Puss in
Yes,
Boots.
he's like, that's not mine. Yeah.
It's so funny.
Classic, all of
my
it.
God.
Did you because Shrek 1 was this gagged me. Shrek 1 was so successful that Cameron Diaz, Mike and Eddie Murphy came to the people and they were like, we want $10 million up front to do this.
For Shrek 2.
For Shrek 2. And they were
Wow.
like, yeah. And they only had to do 15 to 18 hours of work. And they said $10 million before we even step into the booth.
Wow.
And DreamWorks was like, yeah.
And I'm
And it was
sure
all
some.
three of them?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Like Friends.
Yeah, it's just like Friends. So in Friends.
I'm
so
sure they got
sick.
some box office too, right?
Yeah. And it made 900 million worldwide or something insane.
Whoa.
I think
It's
even more.
still making money. There's like,
Yeah,
no way
literally.
it's not. Like there's just bitches like me coming back every year. Well,
935.5 million worldwide.
Jesus. Yeah, I'm
Shrek
sure
1 only made 492, so they all doubled.
it's kind of a blessing and a curse because I feel like this is the reason why Mike Myers doesn't work much anymore. And
yeah.
well, I guess same with Cameron and
Yeah.
Eddie. Like they're chilling on their Shrek money.
this is true. Or they can like self-fund like the Love Guru.
We don't talk about that on
What do
this
you mean?
podcast.
We love the Love Guru.
I haven't seen it.
It's
Bad.
I haven't seen it either. Actually, I feel like it was like on like Channel 9 at 8:30 on a Saturday one time, and I was like, do you know what? Maybe not for me.
They were definitely showing that
Yeah.
on the free to air back in the day.
And I'm a
Yeah.
real Mike Myers apologist.
Oh, I mean, I'm like his biggest fan,
Yeah.
probably. We're having a little Mike Myers.
Myers.
We just did Cat in the Hat the other week.
Oh,
We're
wow.
having a
So
little,
Mike Myers is on the mind.
yeah, as he always is.
Yeah.
Well, because he's kind of like, because I think people would like at the time compare Mike Myers and Jim Carrey. And
Yeah.
my mum, like Jim Carrey was banned from our house
What?
because my mum couldn't handle him.
That's fair. That's honestly fair. I get that.
She was like, it's too much.
It is too much.
And I think even he does the same thing,
Yeah.
especially with comedic stuff. Like I think he's a good actor. Obviously, he's a very funny guy as well. I don't want to burn any bridges.
I don't trust him. I don't
No,
trust
I
him.
think he's a bit anti-vax.
He is, and I
Yeah.
hated that
He's-
whole Facebook thing where they would post a black and white picture of him and then post a quote and be like, "He's actually really deep."
Yeah, he's very like, I'm an actor as
Yeah.
well, which is like, kill yourself.
Like, he fucking might.
Yeah,
No, I don't think he will. But it is like my least favorite trope is when people are like, you know that comedians are actually depressed.
yes.
And I'm also like, oh, it's such a gripe of
It's
mine.
the Joker.
Yeah, because then also like you can't make a dark joke on stage now because people are worried you're going to kill yourself. It's like, I won't, I promise.
You're like, I'm like Jim Carrey.
I'm like Jim Carrey. But I think Mike Myers really like disappears into these characters.
Chameleon.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you just need to watch Austin Powers to see that. Like,
It's so good.
yeah, some people didn't even know he was playing multiple roles in the films.
People thought he was British.
Yeah.
You know?
Literally.
Fuck, it was
The
so
accent
good.
work, immaculate.
Yeah.
Oh,
God.
God, it's so good.
I feel like Fat Bastard predated Shrek. Must have.
it?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
I don't know when they recorded the vocals because that was the thing. Shrek was in production for like
A long
a
time.
while.
Right.
And I think that Austin Powers 2 might have come out because that's where we first met Fat
Fat
That was
Bastard.
99,
Yes.
was it not?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, who knows?
Yeah. It's
We'll
fine.
never know.
It's all in the wheelhouse.
All the prosthetics. Oh my God, Fat Bastard. That's the one where you're like, this is getting tough for me, Mike. I'm really
no, I'm
trying.
like, let's go.
Do you know what though? He was proud of his life.
Yeah.
and
He
his
loved his body. We
it
should
just
all
wasn't-
be more like Fat Bastard.
This is
Self-love.
true. Just maybe they could have got somebody else to do it. You know, they didn't need the
Well, Mike is Mike, you know.
Mike is Mike. That's true.
They're getting their money's worth.
I think in Shrek 2 as well, we really like what they nailed was like we're moving to the big city.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we're
Like-
expanding the universe.
Yeah.
We're getting out of the swamp.
Funky town.
The swamp. We're out of the swamp. We have
Gotta make a
drive
move to
through.
the town that's right for me.
Yeah. Oh my God, the Bowie. That was iconic.
He like recorded a new version, right?
Oh,
Or did I make that?
did he?
Oh, maybe I made that up.
No.
That's
It wouldn't
in my
surprise me.
head.
They
Yeah,
made $900 million. He
Yeah,
probably did.
they had Bowie money.
They
Yeah,
did.
I feel like he might have. Maybe I made that. Someone Google that. Oh,
So
at home,
good.
not
Yeah.
here. Yeah.
And I loved
Right in.
the plot twist of the king being the frog as well.
Spoiler.
Oh yeah, spoiler alert.
It's like right at the end.
And then he
Yeah.
like stays as the frog. Like
Yeah.
that's kind of like, I don't know, there's something interesting about like in Shrek, like across the lore, like even with the ogres, like the happy ending of Shrek 1 isn't that like Shrek is able to become a human or
No.
like blah blah blah. He like the king doesn't get to become a human again. He remains a frog married to Julie Andrews.
Yes. It's all about self-love.
Exactly.
is.
Yeah.
Shrek 2 is kind of also like a queer story in the
Okay.
sense that it's like, you know, this Fiona has been locked away. She hasn't seen her family in such a long time. And she comes back
Yeah.
different
Yeah,
Yeah.
and brings
yeah.
her different partner
Yep.
to meet the family.
Totally.
Yeah.
And you know, is it a trans story? Is it a queer story? There's layers to this.
There
like,
is.
You know?
like ogres.
Exactly. And onions.
On
you know?
onions.
It's yeah, and you know they've got this coterie of like queer coded friends along the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Chosen family.
Chosen family.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you know, Donkey's in like a relationship with a dragon. You know,
So yeah, you have to kind of wonder what happened. Like, why couldn't they get Dragon back? For
Well, yeah.
I always
well,
it's so,
dragon was
it's
supposed to
sus.
be a bigger part of Shrek 2, and when they had the potion, she was supposed to turn into I think a Pegasus.
Dragon was going to have the
Yeah.
potion. Whoa.
Yeah, so but
I don't see
they-
how the dragon could get any hotter.
exactly.
She's so stunning. The
lashes.
eyelashes.
when
yes.
he had like the lip reveal when she like comes in the
Oh my
and she's like,
God.
Yes.
She's
Yeah.
so cute.
Yeah.
And she just like, and like all like she needed was just like someone to like see her.
exactly.
And Donkey, because he's so kind.
Yeah.
He did.
Donkey is
He
so
did.
kind.
And he like fell for her despite himself. Like obviously there was like a little bit of fear in
Yeah.
how they got together, of course, but they came through in the end. But I think you're also right with Fiona as well, like with like the I guess like the queerness of it all. Like she was trapped in this room thinking about her like perfect wedding, her perfect husband, Prince Charming, yada yada yada, and then like was stuck in like the comp het of it all, and then had to like set herself free
Yeah.
of that,
yeah,
and like really loved the lifestyle,
exactly.
which I think is really beautiful. And also like I loved how she like when she brought him home to her parents, she was like unapologetic, but at the same time like Shrek was kind of an asshole.
Oh yeah,
Like
It was
Shrek-
difficult.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was very like class. There was like it was
Yep.
very
It's
much
a
about
class
class.
divide,
Yeah.
Yeah. Shrek
they
had his
based
walls
it
up.
on
Yeah.
Yeah.
they based the screenplay on like Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. Have you seen that movie?
Yes.
Yeah. That was like a big inspiration for the story.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah.
Surely just the dinner scene though.
Well, yeah. Like, the concept was like the not Meet the Parents the movie, but like Meet the Parents. Like
Meet the fuckers.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn, that's so good.
Yeah.
And I
Should have
guess
got Catherine Hepburn. Fuck Julie Andrews. Sorry.
Julie
Actually,
Andrews.
never fuck Julie Andrews.
She's still alive, right?
Yeah.
she's still around.
Okay,
Yeah. She's good. She's
Thank
good.
God.
She's just started singing again.
Thank God.
Really? She's always quitting and starting again.
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't think she
let's not.
Her range is just different because that
The
surgeon
surgery.
botched it.
Yes.
Exactly.
God.
Oh my God.
Speaking of singing, I have a really important question to ask because of who I am. Have you seen Shrek the Musical?
No, I haven't. Which I really, because I think it was touring and then it was going to come back to Melbourne, but then 2020 happened and it just didn't
So
come
that just
in.
happened.
Was it Marsha Hines, the dragon
Yeah.
or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and like I have heard it's like great. Like
It
people have
is
such a fun time there.
Good. I love Shrek.
Have you seen it live or just a recording?
I've
Okay.
seen, they recorded the original Broadway cast and it's like on the internet. I'll send it to you.
Oh my God, please.
Yeah.
Is it like slime tutorials?
No. It's like they did like a full pro shot. So
Oh
it's
my
like
God.
a good.
Like Legally Blonde.
Yes,
When
like
they did
Legally
that.
Blonde.
Yeah.
Yes. It's got, do you know Sutton Foster? Okay.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Sister.
Part of my law is that I studied musical theatre, was a huge musical theatre kid.
Take my hand. Take my hand.
Can we all agree that the gayest thing that Hugh Jackman has ever done is date Sutton Foster?
Yes, absolutely.
Speak on
Because
that.
it's just so. But she's amazing in it.
Yeah.
And she's
Fiona,
a great
she's
She's Fiona.
Okay,
Yeah.
right.
How do they do like the costume changes and stuff
Have
for
to
her?
wait and see. It's really good.
Stage magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The magic of the theatre.
Oh
You
my
did
God,
send me
that's
one
so
clip
cool.
from it, which was very
the
powerful.
Act one closer, Who I'd Be, is like some of the most like beautiful songwriting.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
It's like Shrek. It's like when he's like, oh, you know, they've like rescued Fiona and they're like having the first night and she's away and it's just him being like, you know, life would be different if I could be a poet, I could be this, that, but an ogre always hides. An ogre's fate is known. It's beautiful.
It's
and then,
so sad.
And then there's Fiona singing in the background, like kind of obscured, but like you can see that she's an ogre singing like
Yes.
counterpoint. It's so good.
Shrek 2 has the introduction of one of the most iconic Shrek characters, which is Puss in Boots.
Antonio
I mean,
Banderas.
Puss in Boots like lit the world on fire.
Literally.
Everyone was, you know, the cute cat eyes.
Cute
Yes.
cat eyes.
Like that voice performance, that should have been nominated. I think that's another extremely iconic voice
Yeah.
performance.
It was so good. It was also like this interesting dynamic where he was like really charming Shrek and Donkey just like
was
couldn't,
not having it.
couldn't get around to
Not
it.
having a bar of it.
It
I'm
was
wondering
so
if you've
funny.
seen the Puss in Boots movies, the spin-offs.
I actually have not.
Okay.
And I am sitting here living a life of regret because I haven't. Like I've also heard that the second, is it Puss in Boots 2? People have said that is like
Really good.
genuinely moving.
We
as
saw
well.
that together.
We did at the cinema.
Yeah.
We went to Palace Cinemas.
I think we went to a preview as well, like a family, like it was like a Saturday afternoon at like 2 p.m. and they're like, bring your family. And we were like, we'll just go.
We'll go.
What about gay guys?
That's so you went and saw it as if it's on like at MIF
Yeah, literally. Like,
To the kids, can you be quiet? Yeah.
at an indie cinema. Like guys, actually support local.
yeah.
It was great. The first Puss in Boots is really bad.
Yeah.
I will say, like, you could probably skip it altogether. It's terrible.
I'm fine with
haven't
skipping
seen
that.
it, yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna see. I really tried to sit through Shrek 3, but I kept finding other stuff to do. I kept
It's
getting
so
up.
bad.
Shit.
It's really
I
hard.
tried to rewatch for this.
Yeah.
And the first 20 minutes, I was like, oh, what have you done?
yeah.
What happened? What have you done to Shrek?
Yeah.
And what is Shrek 4 Shrek the Halls?
No,
Or is that-
no,
that's
no.
a Christmas
Shrek
dinner.
Forever After.
Shrek Forever. I've seen Shrek
which
the
is good.
Halls.
Shrek
I watched
Forever
it
After
for
is
the
okay.
first time last year on a plane. And I mean, it was okay on the plane, but
It's
I've
better than
never
Shrek
seen
3.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I need to get into Shrek 4 and Puss in Boots 2 before Shrek
Puss
5
in Boots
comes
2,
out.
put
Oh,
that at the
absolutely.
top of your watch
Yeah.
list.
Yeah.
Like, go home today,
because
I actually
draw the blinds.
probably will.
Yeah.
Because
Like,
Puss in
that's
Boots
it.
2 sort of leads you straight into Shrek 5, presumably.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, I went, you know.
However,
oh,
Puss in Boots and was not in the trailer for Shrek 5, nor
that was
was
just a
Antonio
little-
Banderas credited in the like. It's
I think
like
we're
Mike
fine.
Myers,
I
Cameron
think we're
Diaz, Eddie
fine.
Murphy, and Zendaya.
but then, you know, I think we're fine. Like, don't panic.
Okay.
I can't see a world where they make a Shrek movie without Antonio Banderas.
well, have you not seen Shrek 1?
They
But
managed
now
to do it.
the
No.
fans would be throwing shit at the screen.
Especially after the success of Puss in Boots too. Like it would
Exactly.
be a shame.
Most popular
It would be
character.
like,
Yeah.
throwing your money in the bin.
Yeah.
It is. Have you seen the like along with like the like they look different, which is like it's very uncanny valley, and I think we are just scared of things looking different.
Yeah. And they are a little older, which I tried to
Yeah.
give some grace. You know, I was
Yeah.
like, maybe they're
Maybe
just
they
older.
do this.
Yeah.
But Zendaya, the
Trans.
daughter, but she's got a nose ring, and and people are like, oh my god, they've got a trans lesbian daughter.
Yeah.
And it's like, Jesus Christ.
Shrek's
The
gone
way-
woke.
Shrek is woke.
I don't think that they'll do that.
Well, there's been a history of them supporting
Yeah,
the
yeah.
community in the
Well,
series.
this is true.
so-
And I'm also like, the ogres are punk. Like, they're not normal. They're like left of center. They always have been.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything, like Shrek is like, I'm sure he's like much more of a socialist now, but he was a bit of a liberalist, like one of those like I live off the
NIMBY.
land.
Yeah, NIMBY.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a NIMBY.
yeah, definitely liberal voter.
Yeah, 100%. He like really wasn't open to his house it becoming kind of a, like for lack of a better phrase, like a refugee camp. Like the way that they set it up was like these people like need to live here.
Yeah. He's a bit of a what's the one where they like don't believe in government and stuff?
Yeah.
A libertarian.
A libertarian,
Yes.
that's it. That's the word. Yeah. He was like a libertarian, like
A bit anarchist
yeah,
even. Yeah.
doesn't believe in tax.
Yeah.
But also like, just like keeps
He's a
to
very
himself.
complicated political figure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's because he didn't want to be vulnerable.
Yes. And then he ends up being a bit of a revolutionary.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing
Yeah.
because in Shrek the Third, he's like supposed to be the king, and he is like, no, not gonna
Well,
happen.
just like,
He
you
can't
know,
deal with it.
Vladimir Lenin, Mao
Yeah.
Zedong, you know, he
Yeah.
sort of becomes the dictator that he overthrew.
Wow.
Well, but that's the thing. He doesn't. He goes and finds Justin Timberlake and says, "You will be the king."
It's
And
Justin
then-
Timberlake.
Can't stop the feeling.
Yeah, he's in Shrek the Third.
Wait, who does he play?
The prince.
Is he the prince?
Yeah.
Stop.
What prince?
Prince Charming?
No, not Prince Charming.
Oh, my God. I was
so
like-
they go. He's like a descendant of the next in line for the throne, and then they go to get him from like college. And while Shrek and Donkey are going to get him, Prince Charming comes and like takes over the town of far away.
Okay, yes, with all the
Shrek the Third is just, and all he wants to do is like put on this play about how
Yep.
he saved Fiona. And Shrek the Third is just like, don't trust a gay guy who's too into theatre. He
Well,
will ruin your life.
say
Hello.
that. Yeah.
I mean, waiting for that to be wrong.
and Justin Timberlake was thinking trolls.
Yeah.
He's like, this is going to lead to trolls.
Exactly.
But this is pre-social network, I would assume.
2007.
Wow.
We really had Justin Timberlake fever. And people forget that. Like, he's really fallen off recently because...
He's a chopper.
Yeah.
And we found out that he played guitar to Britney Spears while she was having an at-home abortion. And I think that
yeah.
really... Did you know this?
I forgot. Was that in the book?
It's
Yeah.
in her memoir.
Yeah,
But
that's
she doesn't
cracking
really
open.
like say anything sassy about it. She simply says what happened.
Yeah, and that's enough.
Yeah, there was a lot of
Yeah.
that in the book. It was kind of just like,
Yeah.
I'm just giving you the facts, and they are bad.
yeah.
Now, is Rumpelstiltskin, is he in Shrek 3 or Shrek 4?
So
Well,
it actually
he
has a cameo. But it's a different character, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Different character design.
And then they
Shrek the
redo it
Third.
for Shrek 4. Shrek Forever After, sorry.
Oh, okay. That's probably why, because I think that Rumpelstiltskin is like such a funny character to like do and like lives in the Shrek world. So
I've never got
Well.
what that is. Like, who?
his story, like his lore.
Yeah.
He like sells wishes and stuff.
Yeah, but what he does, so there was this like woman who was like spinning
A yarn.
yarn, some shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was actually, that's where, you know how people call someone spinsters?
Okay.
That the origin of that is just women who were able to make their own money because they spun yarn. And that's what they're like, oh, they're a spinster. And
That's
it,
a
like,
powerful term.
yeah, and it
Yeah.
like didn't start out as like a bad thing, and then it kind of evolved into like lonely women.
We're going to have to
blah, blah, blah,
reclaim
blah,
that.
blah.
Yeah.
We're going to have to
Reclaiming
work on that.
spinster.
Get me my
Yeah.
spinning wheel.
So there was this like young spinster lady, and she was like doing all this, and she could not finish it in time. And he was like, "If you, what's your wish?" She's like, "I want to finish it in time, and then also like become like a princess or some shit." And he was like,
Literally, I was like, was this a true story? I just got lost for a second. I forgot what we were talking about.
this woman.
Like, whoa.
And then, but then, like, yeah, Rumpelstiltskin comes in and is like, great, I will, like, do all this for you, but you have to give me your firstborn.
Whoa.
Like, that's the deal.
Jeez.
And
Fair.
but she says okay. Like that's the thing. Like I hate to like bully women, but she did say
Yep.
you can. And like that's I guess like that, you know, we can get into like the politics around surrogacy in this day and age later. But she like had a kid and like he didn't kind of show up, so she was like, okay, this is fine. And then when it was like a year old, he
became the dad who stepped up.
Yeah. And he was like,
Wow.
oh, I don't know if he actually took the kid or if he said, I'm going to at this time. And he was like, if you can guess my name, you have 3 goes.
She didn't ask the name. She never asked the name.
She never asked his name. Okay. Well, so it's like, well, what do you think
Rude.
about people in service?
Yeah, exactly.
In the service industry.
Maybe she deserved to have a child still.
Yeah. And then like the funniest part of it all is that like she just followed him home one day and saw him like skipping around a fire being like, she's never going to guess my name. It's Rumpelstiltskin. It's Rumpelstiltskin. She's never going to guess my name. And then like she says it and he's floored.
Gagged her.
She's like the next day he shows up, she's got one more try and she says Rumpelstiltskin.
Oh
because
my
who would guess
God.
She's
that?
like, John, Andrew, Rumpelstiltskin.
Give me.
And she gets to keep her kid and I don't know, he
That's
continues
awesome.
to wreak havoc.
Yeah.
But he's just this funny little guy.
Damn, she beat
Yeah.
him.
She
What's
beat
the
him.
moral of that story? I don't know.
Ask
Hey,
people's
that
names.
is- Yeah, ask people's names.
Yeah.
Know your
Introduce
neighbors.
yourself. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of these like fairy tales, are these all like from a certain thing or like what
like
qualifies?
grim fairy tales.
How do you
I
get
think-
into Shrek?
I think you just gotta be a fairy tale.
Yeah.
But
Well,
like,
it's 'cause,
what's a fairy tale and what's not? You know, Robin Hood, I
Yeah.
wouldn't say that's a fairy tale.
Well, that's a folk tale. It's
Okay.
kind of like
Yeah, like legends.
yeah,
and stuff.
Legends.
But
Because
then,
then
like-
it's like in Shrek the Third, it's like Merlin and Arthur, which is like more of a legend vibe.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then
Then there's like the Aesop soap that they use. The fables there where it's like there's a moral.
Yes,
Okay,
the tortoise and the hare.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
We haven't had a new fairy tale in a very long time.
I know. We're always doing like
Well, you
twists on
guys.
them.
Yeah.
Because we have a Nora.
Cinderella. I mean,
Cinderella's
she's going to
good.
be in Shrek 5 and Nora's going to be in it.
I would love to see
Frog
it.
marriage.
frog marriage.
Frog marriage.
That'd be so good.
Yeah, we do need some new fairy tales. Maybe I'll write one.
Mama, let's research. Let's get to the bottom of this.
It's just hard to have any original ideas these days.
Yeah.
Everything's IP.
I feel like the last original fairy tale was
Shrek.
No, what's the Russian one? The
Nora.
Russian princess. No. They're like, oh, she's a missing member of the.
Oh, Anastasia.
That's
Anastasia.
not a fairy tale. That's a real story.
Okay.
That actually happened.
And like growing up, you realize like she did deserve to die. Like not like maybe not her as a child,
No.
Anastasia, but like her,
symbol- the
her
symbol.
parents were fucking awful.
Yeah,
And like
Tsar Nicholas II.
yeah. Did some bad shit.
Absolutely.
And,
I
like-
mean that soundtrack slaps.
That soundtrack is so
I don't
Journey
know
to the
it.
Past. Oh, you don't know Anastasia? Huh?
No, I never watched it because the historical inaccuracies.
Well, they in the musical version they made it a bit more historically accurate. Like they got rid of Rasputin and like
Yeah.
made it like a real guy. So
That was kind of a shame though, because Rasputin is such a great character and has such a good song, and you cannot get it on any streaming service.
Are
You
you
have to like
serious?
look it up on YouTube for it to like
Oh
come
my
up. Like
God.
it's I don't know what is going on with the licensing and shit like that, but like you cannot get you can get the Broadway Anastasia soundtrack, but you can't get the movie soundtrack on any streaming services. It's insane.
That's like I feel like I think it's on there now, but for a long time you couldn't listen to Jennifer Saunders holding up her hero.
Yes!
Yeah.
And it needs
They
to come
suppressed
back.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe what do we need? Like just some action. We need to get behind
Yeah, a
need to
petition.
complain
a
about it.
GoFundMe.
Yeah.
well, that was like they did that with the Addams Family Broadway cast recording. Could not find it anywhere.
Terrible.
And
And
now
it
it's
just
out.
appeared on Spotify one day, and we were like, "Oh, when you're an Adam."
I did think like growing up watching Anastasia, I genuinely like was like, oh, this is like the thinking girl's princess. Like, I was
Yes.
like, I feel like I'm getting educated. I feel like
Yeah.
she's like, it was the same as like Belle. That was like had a
Oh,
real
yeah.
like again like the same part of me that's like, I enjoyed Friends, but differently than you did.
Yeah.
Was
My favorite is Belle because she's...
Is this Beauty and the Beast? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Wake up.
I'm like, I wasn't ever big on the fairy tales. Like,
Wow. For a fairy.
You're a realist.
What are you doing?
I was studying the Russian Revolution. I wasn't watching the fairy tale version. Yeah.
That is so funny.
I feel like by the time we get to Shrek Forever After, it is feeling very much like we're out of ideas.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Because Shrek sort of says to Rumpelstiltskin, like, I think he's like, I wish none of this sort of ever happened.
Oh, we have to talk about the most iconic part of Shrek 4. Do the raw.
What?
Yeah.
Do you know Do the raw?
No.
It's this little...
That's a good impression.
Do the raw. I love you, Daddy.
Oh my god, the little guy!
Yeah,
oh my god, no, I
Yeah.
do know him. Okay,
Yeah.
I've seen him like out of context of the film.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh my
like
God, it's so
Shrek's child's party, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. It's the triplets' birthday, and then everything goes asunder, and
Yeah.
Shrek like loses it, and then Rumpelstiltskin is like, and Shrek's like, I just wish I could have a day to myself.
Yeah.
And then he's like, okay, well, you have to give me one of your days. And he's like, whatever, take whatever day you want. And then Rumpelstiltskin chooses the day that he was born. It makes him never born. And then...
What? Are you sure?
I watched it 2 days ago.
I don't remember any of this.
And then
Wow.
he like he's living his day, and then as he goes on, he realizes that like Rumpelstiltskin has like become the king, and like and then there's like this ogre army that Fiona's running,
And the
with John
act-
Hamm and Jane Lynch are there.
Of course.
Very
Yeah.
of its time.
Yeah.
Kathy
But-
Griffin was one of the witches.
Oh my god.
I was gonna say-
when she still had a voice.
Yeah.
Another reference to your hat. There's a lot of green witches in Shrek Forever After.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that's so
That's
good.
another thing. They're like the green witches in it for some reason.
Yeah.
Like it's
Alphabet.
very loose.
Yeah.
Oh, like
with what's
it
allowed
was sweeping Broadway at the time. It was
Wicked.
huge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, timeless.
Well, I think Shrek the Musical was probably on Broadway the same time that Shrek the Fourth came out. Or what, Shrek Goes Forth, whatever it's called. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, it
So-
would
It was
have been.
2010, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
God, it really stretched out, and I wonder what it's going to be like for because it's 2025 now, right?
And I think it comes out next year, doesn't it? Or is it
Shrek
this-
5 is next year. December
So,
next year.
Yeah, they'll be doing it as like a 25-year thing because it came out in 2001, right?
Fucking
Yeah,
hell.
they would
That's so
fully be
scary.
doing that, and like it's a quarter quell, but it's like it's
It will
also
be
Shrek
premiering at
Quarter
Cannes as
yeah.
well.
But I remember like when I was younger and I would watch movies like The Gremlins or like shit like that, and it was so like that. It's so weird to be like at a point in culture now where like we're self-referencing stuff that's existed while we've been alive. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
like doing reboots and things like
Yeah.
that of stuff. You're like,
Yeah,
oh, I
totally.
get why people are so like, what the fuck when
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
happens. Like
Yeah.
Shrek 5 makes sense, but like they're redoing like Harry Potter as well, which feels
Yeah.
kind of
With
like
John Lithgow as Dumbledore.
get
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
It's over.
Chop.
It's over.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why you would.
Touch that.
I guess money.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Surely he's got
Yeah.
enough.
He's
He's got Shrek
probably
money.
going to die soon
Isn't he
anyway.
also
He's old.
older than Ralph? Ray Fiennes? He's like surely.
Ray finds Voldemort.
Oh, who's? Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm sorry, Miss Goozy. I'm mixing up my big
Michael
boys.
Gambon? Is that his name?
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
He died,
because
right?
famously
Yes.
the guy who played Dumbledore in the first two died.
But
So
then
that
Michael
was risky
Gambon replaced
casting.
him. didn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
And then he died.
I don't know.
That man, the original Dumbledore, was so beautiful and perfect for the first two films, but he was dying on screen. Like you can't tell me that man didn't have like an earpiece. Every line was like, "You are here," and it was like it was insane to watch.
Yeah.
And I was like, "This is like very poorly thought out." Like I know he's got to be old,
Yeah.
but like
not that old.
But not that, and
Yeah.
also like he's got to be able to like do some shit. Like he was again perfect with the first two films where he was just this like sage weirdo, and then like later on when you realize he's complicated and was potentially like using Harry the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He definitely couldn't have done that shot, when he's falling off there.
Yeah.
He couldn't have done that.
No.
Unless face replacement. Like he couldn't have
AI.
done that. AI.
Yeah.
Thank God for
AI
AI.
Dumbledore. Yeah. God.
I'm so glad someone said that.
Yeah, thank God.
I'm really so obviously Shrek 5, like Shrek's daughter Zendaya is going to play a huge role in it, but I'm really wondering kind of what the message of Shrek 5 is going to be. Like I'm a bit scared.
Trans is okay.
Trans, okay.
Maybe, but I'm also it's gonna be like
Because everyone's
her-
older.
She'll have like a bonding moment with her dad. She'll probably get like bullied at school for being like fugly,
Over
and then
It's Euphoria.
it's Euphoria.
She's getting a bit too much on the pixie dust.
She's getting too much on the pixie dust. Shrek unfortunately has to die at home, and she has access to his medication.
I feel like we could get like Shakespeare involved in the next one. I feel like Shakespeare is of this universe.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
Or like a Shakespeare-esque character.
Yeah.
Shakespeare in Love, get Gwyneth in.
The latest, I don't know if you guys are across Jodi Picoult at all. She's an author.
My Sister's Keeper.
Yeah. She wrote My Sister's Keeper.
Yeah.
Starring Cameron Diaz.
Starring
right?
Cameron- Yes.
It's all connected.
It's all connected. But she's recently released a book that like is a novel, but like heavily suggests that Shakespeare like was a woman and like he stole her ideas and stuff like that. And like
Period.
And so it's begun this. I feel like every like 10 years.
They're like, Shakespeare didn't write any of his plays.
Yeah. There's always something where like he actually didn't write it, and I'm like, I actually don't fucking care. Like I really don't. And I'm also like, there's so many examples of like men stealing women's work in like the modern. Like let's focus on
Big Eyes.
yeah,
The
big
wife,
eyes.
the wife with Glenn Close.
Yes.
Have you seen it?
Oh my god,
Yeah.
no. I don't think anyone saw that.
She was nominated for an Oscar for it. I haven't even seen it.
Do you think she's gonna try again for an Oscar?
Oh, she's never going to stop trying.
Her and Diane Warren are like,
Yeah.
We're getting it.
yeah.
Yeah, she tried last year with the fuck you bitch.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think. The Deliverance.
That was just one for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because sometimes she just goes like way too hard. Like remember when she did Albert Nobbs? Like I keep thinking I can't stop thinking about that movie.
We love Albert Nobbs.
I've never
True
actually
story.
seen
Neither have
it. Yeah, but I've just seen like the trailer and clips, and it's just like, what did this? I remember seeing the trailer and being like, this is going to be epic, and then it just kind of.
Albert Nobbs, however.
You said this is going to be IMAX every night. Albert Nobbs.
Oh,
This
I
is going to
miss.
sweep. Everyone is going to. I'm
Yeah.
ready for an Albert Nobbs summer.
I want my favorite genre of movie is like unapologetically like Oscar baity movies. Like
Yeah.
I
The
like.
Iron Lady is like one of my
Oh
favorites.
my god,
Yeah.
it's so good.
Have you seen it?
No, but
You love it. It's quite camp.
yeah.
Like it's horrible, but
Yeah.
it's great.
okay,
Yeah.
and it was just like the easiest win in the world for her. It felt like
Yeah.
because like
Chiller.
yeah, she just had to like put on a wig and be a bitch, and like
Yeah.
she was like
be Marg.
I do that
Done.
at home.
Margaret
Where's my
Thatcher should
Oscar?
be in
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you read this Jodi Picoult book? I've
No.
never heard her name pronounced out
No,
loud,
no,
actually.
no,
So
no.
this
I think
was a
it's
huge day
Picoult,
for me.
isn't it?
Picoult.
I think yeah,
Picoult. Is she French?
she's
Jodi
Canadian, I
Picoult.
think.
Okay.
But she just writes like this is like probably I haven't read it, but my mum's read it, of course. It's a very
Whose mum hasn't read?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
mum law. But all her books were like I read them all way too young. They all went over my head.
Oh yeah, I remember reading My Sister's Keeper in like grade 4.
Yes, literally, because they're really quite easy to read.
Right.
Like, and she's a great author in terms of like she takes you on a journey, and it's all like different perspectives and stuff like that. But like, there's one called like 19 Minutes, which is like about the school shooter.
Yeah.
There's like my favorite book in year year 5 and year 6. Me and my best friend were obsessed with this book called The Pact, which was like
Okay.
The Suicide Pact book.
Suicide Pact book, which was like, and it was like, this is like, it was written for like, it's like trauma porn written for like
mums.
mums to
Yeah,
read.
right.
And she has often said, she's like, I have a happy life. I write like my worst nightmare situations.
Yeah.
And it's just so weird
She
that
sounds
there's
like
like,
a queen.
yeah, she
She-
kind of is.
She's got her bag.
She's on TikTok right now.
Oh.
She's like,
Wait,
Like,
we need to get a
watch-
Jodi talk.
Yeah.
it's so funny. There's like, there was like some trend of like her like she jumped on a trend of like people on a boat, like they would edit themselves onto a boat and be like me coming in with like a plot change or something like that. And she
Yep.
put herself on the boat and being like me killing a different sister at the end of the thing. I'm like,
Is that what happens?
In the book,
in
yeah.
the
So
book.
in the book, the other sister dies.
and that's what makes it good.
good, yeah.
Because they're so worried about this like and
The
then
cancer sister.
Yeah.
And then Abigail Breslin dies.
I got
Yeah.
chills. Like,
Yeah, literally. But then, and so the whole plot of the like the book and the movie is like
Yeah, it's
she's
like
like going to court to get
Getting a
autonomy
medical
over her body.
emancipation.
But
And
then they do end up using her organs for her sister because like
She's dead.
it was about her having autonomy over her body. It wasn't about her not wanting to give to her sister.
yeah, she's like, because she was made to give to her sister.
Yeah.
tearing up.
Yeah.
Like,
it was
that's
actually
powerful.
like very compelling and like also an interesting like thing. And then the movie was just really
Shit.
like shit.
Did they change it in the movie?
Yeah, so the cancer sister dies in the movie.
What?
And
And
so,
it's all for nothing.
yeah.
It's just a weepy sort of.
Yeah.
Wow.
Stupid.
They just put Cameron Diaz in like a lot of different wigs.
Yeah, because she does that famous thing.
Yeah.
She shaved her head.
She wanted an Oscar.
She
That-
wanted
Yeah.
something from
Yeah.
that. I actually thought she was like, I like Cameron Diaz as an actor.
I love her.
I just think she's been in some bad movies.
She makes
like,
some really bad choices.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, her grand return to acting being a Netflix movie with
Yeah.
Jamie Foxx and Glenn Close, actually.
What?
That is
What?
just really.
Glenn
Have you heard
Close
about
plays
this?
her mum, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
fine.
because Cameron retired after Annie. And then
I mean,
she said, I've made the best movie ever. Time to hang up the
me and
boots.
Quavanjane, we're out.
Yeah,
What
and then she has a
on?
natural wine brand, which she was one of the first celebrities to be on the kind of like
on that.
the bandwagon there.
Cam Diaz pet nat.
Yeah.
Hello.
I
And
would
now-
do that.
And now she's back into acting. And so I think she was kind of like, I know I'm going to come back for Shrek 5. I'll just
Do
get
something
a
else.
huge Netflix check and
Yeah.
warm myself up. Yeah.
She's like probably in that space as well where she's like, I will do a movie based on the location so I can have
Yeah.
a holiday.
Anyway, we haven't spoken about Shrek for a while.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Well, any final thoughts on Shrek? Anything we didn't
That
get to?
TikTok of that drag queen doing the fairy godmother drag brunch and the old lady like staring because you can see that's
Oh,
I
yeah.
forgot about that. That's so
Classic.
funny.
Yeah.
Classic.
Just
just staring.
frightened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shrek the musical,
Yeah.
as I've spoken about.
you did bring
Go
that
watch
up.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big shout.
And that's that.
I think that's like, yeah, my final thoughts is it was very iconic. It kind of ate itself in the last two movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm hopeful for Shrek 5. There's been enough of a pause.
Yeah.
But I'm also like, it really set the tone for animation and animated films and the comedy and stuff that can be used in those movies. And I'm like wondering if now we've seen enough of those things. Like we've had like Wreck-It Ralph, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, like all those like iconic funny films. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs is also great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. Anyway, we can't get into it. We can't get into
We
it.
don't have time.
But that I'm like, I wonder if it will be as now that we've had that for 25 years now, will it seem as awesome as
Yeah.
it did at the time because it's not breaking any norms?
Yep.
They're going to give Shrek an iPad or something.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
As an iPad.
Shrek's an iPad dad.
Yeah.
What would-
Apple,
what would,
more
like,
like onion.
Yeah. It'll be like far, far away. Like iPad is like an onion. Yep. Anyway.
Yeah. I hope they're making like, I hope they continue to make jokes. Like, I hope there's like Severance jokes. I hope there's like, I hope there's a Drag Race reference. I
Yeah.
hope there's like
RuPaul would be great in
RuPaul should be in Shrek 5.
I'll actually eat my hat if he's not. Like that's come on, that would be
Oh, he
so
can
good.
play like Dragon's mother.
Yes.
That would be fair.
Or
There's
even
got to
if
be
they-
a far, far away drag race type
That's
thing.
what I think.
Yeah.
Like imagine Pinocchio, in
Pinocchio,
Drag Race.
Gingy.
Well, there's the joke in the teaser of him wearing. Oh wait, no. Where's that joke where it's like women's underwear?
Women's underwear.
Oh yeah, that's in Shrek 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Classic.
Classic. I mean, the wolf, the
I feel
ugly
like
stepsister.
Shrek
Yeah.
5 might be like we cry at the end. That's
I
my
think so.
prediction because
Yeah.
the animated thing now it's like you have to cry at the end. Like
Yeah, that's true.
and
Toy Story
DreamWorks
3 vibes.
Yeah, the wild robot. Like
It really doesn't take much for an animated movie to make me cry as well.
it takes a lot for me.
Oh, true.
Yeah. Well, actually, it doesn't. I don't know why I said that.
Just-
But I feel like a lot of like Inside Out 2 or something, like there's a lot of ones where it's like, oh, I know you're trying to make me cry.
Yes.
And I'm not going to do it, bitch.
Absolutely.
But then, Wild Robot, I was like,
I'm gone.
tears.
I was
Yeah.
reminded of The Fox and the Hound recently as well. And like,
I don't think I've seen that.
it was just like a fox that like was raised by a family and domesticated, but then they had to leave it in the wild. And I can't
Yeah.
remember the reasoning behind it, but he is like a puppy fox and he thinks that they're playing I'm actually going to cry. He thinks that they're playing a game with him when they drive away. And like the realization that they're not coming back is so... I actually am really not a crier. I know it doesn't seem like it right now, but there's something about The Fox and the Hound and those animated movies. Anyway, I'm over it now.
You're actually crying.
Yeah, shit. Don't get us started on Bambi.
But when a story moves
Bambi can
you,
go.
you know, I feel like Shrek 5, you're gonna,
Yeah.
we're gonna be talking about it, and we're gonna be crying.
And it is
Maybe it's gonna be about Zendaya going away to like college or something,
Of course,
saying
yeah.
goodbye. Yeah.
I wonder. Anyway, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm
we
optimistic.
have a rubric on this podcast where we decide if something like gets through our gate.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the first rubric
Quality.
is quality, which I
think-
feel like they all. Well,
I think Shrek 1, 2, and Puss in Boots 2.
Yeah.
The quality is there.
I think
Yeah.
that's enough quality to like carry through the.
Yeah.
And I think the franchise is so ripe. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Shrek 2
Yeah.
alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it slay? The wolf in the bed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's certainly Slay in it, the fairy godmother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it absolutely slays. And
Yeah.
I think we need to like, in this instance, like let's think about Shrek at its best. Like
Yeah.
no, at it's like
Uplift it.
yeah.
Don't bring it down.
It slays the Prince Charming character, the three blind mice. Are you
Yeah.
kidding?
The pigs?
The pigs.
Yep.
They really included all of them, and they all were such distinct characters.
Yeah.
And had their own thing. It was perfect.
Does it benefit the queer agenda? Well,
I think it does.
queer stories.
it
We've
does.
established
It really-
that.
Yeah.
It paints a beautiful rainbow tapestry of characters.
Yes.
I would like to see a gay ogre in the next one.
I would like to see that, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm also
Can I
like,
with this swamp?
well, they've got triplets, so statistically one of them's got to be gay.
Totally.
Exactly.
Isn't it? It's 1 in 3. I don't know what the stats
Wait, who's
about
gay
that.
here?
are. Charlie the cat.
Is that all that? No. the last
does
one.
it say?
Was
is
I
it
gagged?
Was I gagged? Is it a classic? Yes.
Okay.
It's certainly a classic.
Yeah. I mean, the quarter quail next year.
Yeah, the
25
quarter quail.
years. Yeah.
And
Was I gagged? Holding out for a hero? Absolutely.
absolutely.
Boots.
And I'm trying to remember, like, the first time, if it's still giving us, even talking about it, goosebumps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then and
Exactly.
watching it, you do get good. And it's also like, I would say that Shrek 2, it's a long one, but it's definitely like it slid into like afters viewing as well, like kick-ons.
Yeah.
When you get the clips out,
Easy to
Yeah.
just chuck on.
yeah, and you will put on Holding Out for a Hero and
Yeah.
like, and then like a couple others. Like I think it's, if once it's slid into like that genre, like it's
I will just say
Yeah.
it wasn't Shrek that gave me goosebumps. It was My Sister's Keeper.
oh, I'm so sorry. Yes.
So we're going to have to do a full episode on that.
Yeah.
My Sister's Keeper.
When you come back on, we'll be doing My Sister's
We'll
Keeper
do My
episode.
Sister's Keeper. We should just run through all
Jodi
of
Picoult.
Jodi Picoult's book. Oh my God.
Next comedy first. Come back.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
you've got 12 months to read all of Jodie's work.
Done.
And
I think I've only got like 3 books that I haven't read. I saw a stack of them at a secondhand bookshop, and I like,
I'll take the
I was
lot.
like, read, and I couldn't. I was like, weirdly, like I'd never forgot. Like never think about it again. But I was looking at it, being like, Keeping Faith, yep, Lost
Yeah.
Daughter.
I'm like the very distinct, like the covers from like the
Yeah.
it's like the white with like the photo at the bottom and like the cut.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
It was so good.
I never thought the discussion would lead here today,
Nobody
but I'm
did.
glad it did.
Nobody knew. It was the Cameron Diaz link.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
So tomorrow the comedy fest starts. Not to stress you out, but your show Dog Y will be
Yeah.
showing for the whole run. Was it
The whole run.
So exciting!
I'm at 7:30 p.m.
Perfect time.
6:30 on Sundays. And I'd love to see everyone there. I feel like also if you're listening to this podcast, I think you'll like the show. I hope.
Say that.
I mean, I've got to finish writing it, but
but there's shows tomorrow. And I saw the dress rehearsal.
anyway.
It's going to be the Shrek 2 of
the
comedy
Shrek
shows.
2. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, it
And
should
Sam's
be fun.
will be the My Sister's Keeper.
Exactly.
Yes, one of us dies at the end.
You have to
Someone
come and
in the
find
middle.
out
One
who
you want
is.
to
Well, make sure to subscribe
Subscribe
to our
to us,
Patreon.
subscribe to our Patreon, follow us on Instagram.
Yep. And that's it. That's
Great.
that.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for
Thank you.
having
I need a
me.
hero.
I'm surprised you didn't burp this episode, James. Would have been appropriate.
Fuck you.
Okay, bye.